Hello everyone, before we dive in, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's one reason you support or are frustrated with the current government's direction? Is it the digital ID rollout? The Australia social media ban? Or maybe it's something else entirely? Let's start a real conversation, because this country deserves better than what we're getting. You've probably heard the news. The Australian government has passed a world-first law banning social media access for anyone under 16, set to begin in late 2025. On the surface, it sounds noble. Protect kids from cyberbullying, screen addiction, and harmful content. But dig deeper, and you'll find a lot more going on. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, and X could face fines of up to $50 million if they don't comply. That's serious pressure. But here's the problem. How will they enforce this age check? The government hasn't given clear answers yet, but early reports suggest they're considering facial recognition scans, ID verification systems, or even behavioral tracking tools. That means every user, not just teens, may soon have to prove their identity just to post a photo or share a thought. And who benefits from that? Not parents, not kids. It opens the door for mass surveillance, data collection, and the quiet expansion of Digital ID Australia, a system already raising eyebrows across the country. Worse yet, experts warn this could push young people to less regulated corners of the internet, where there's no safety net at all. And the eSafety Commissioner themselves warned this could happen. So why did the government rush this through without proper debate? Think about the long-term implications. Once identity verification becomes the norm online, anonymity, something that has always been fundamental to freedom of expression, could disappear completely. Every comment, every video, every like or share could be permanently tied to your government-verified ID. That's not just a security risk, that's a recipe for control. Now let's talk about Digital ID Australia, a national digital identification system the government has been rolling out for years. Supposedly designed to make life easier, faster banking, smoother healthcare signups, it's being quietly integrated into more areas of our lives. It's no longer just a convenience, it's slowly becoming a requirement. Want to renew your license? Use Digital ID. Want to access your medical records? Use Digital ID. Want to open a bank account? Register for school or access government services? You guessed it, Digital ID. And now, with the Australia social media ban, many Australians are asking, is this the final puzzle piece? Will you need a verified digital ID just to log into your favorite platforms? It's not paranoia, it's pattern recognition. Governments around the world are using child protection as a gateway to introduce invasive policies. In Australia, it feels like we're heading down that same path. If this law forces platforms to verify age, and the only way to do that is through digital ID, then we've lost control over our anonymity online. No more private opinions, no more whistleblowers, no more freedom to speak without being tracked. That's not protecting kids, that's building a surveillance state. Let's be honest, technology isn't neutral anymore. It's a tool for shaping behavior, controlling narratives, and collecting data at a scale we've never seen before. Facial recognition, biometric authentication, behavioral analysis, all these are being normalized under the guise of safety. But once these tools are in place, it's incredibly hard to roll them back. We've seen this before, emergency laws that were never repealed, temporary surveillance that became permanent. And now we're seeing it again, digital tools being weaponized in the name of protecting children. Here's the bottom line. Free speech in Australia is under threat. We don't have a constitutional right to free expression like Americans do. And now, with these new laws, the government is taking advantage of that loophole. Under the guise of harm prevention, authorities are increasingly deciding what's allowed online. Posts get removed, accounts get suspended, voices get silenced, especially when they challenge the status quo. Tech groups like Net Choice have already spoken out, calling the social media ban one of the most aggressive moves against free speech globally. And it's not just about kids, it's about who controls the internet in Australia. Anonymous voices are some of the most powerful. Journalists, activists, victims of abuse, whistleblowers, all rely on privacy to speak freely. Now, those protections are disappearing fast. The consequences won't be felt immediately. They'll unfold gradually, almost invisibly. A few new login prompts here, a few blocked accounts there. But over time, we'll begin to notice what's been lost. The open, democratic nature of the internet, where anyone could share an idea, challenge a belief, or expose corruption, will be replaced by a sanitized, filtered, government-approved version of reality. And once that door is closed, it's hard to reopen. So why now? Why rush through the Australia social media ban with minimal consultation? Why tie it so closely to Digital ID Australia? Many are asking if this is part of a larger agenda, a plan to centralize control over our digital identities and silence dissent. Some call it Agenda 2030. Others just see it as political opportunism. Either way, the trend is clear. More control, less freedom. There's also the looming election, and the current government knows it's under pressure. Passing flashy laws like this gives them a temporary boost. But long-term, it risks turning Australia into a place where citizens are monitored, restricted, and punished for speaking out. Where was the public debate? Where were the hearings? Where was our voice? We also need to ask ourselves, what kind of digital world are we building for the next generation? A world where every move is tracked, every message is scanned, and every identity is tied to a central government system? Or a world that values privacy, freedom, and the right to dissent? Right now, the trajectory isn't looking good. But it doesn't have to stay this way. This isn't just about tech policy. This is about freedom, about privacy, and about who gets to decide what we can say and do online. These laws are shaping the future of how Australians interact with the digital world. And if we don't speak up now, we risk handing over control to those who may not have our best interests at heart. There are real steps you can take today to make a difference. Start by speaking up. Share this video, talk to your friends, raise awareness, and challenge the narrative. Staying informed is another powerful tool. Follow organizations like the Australian Human Rights Commission, or digital rights groups such as Digital Rights Watch, Access Now, and Electronic Frontiers Australia to keep track of legal developments, proposed changes, and how these policies affect everyday Australians like you and me. Talk to your local representatives. Ask questions. Demand transparency. Don't let these laws pass in silence. Democracy doesn't end at the ballot box. It continues every day through civic engagement, public scrutiny, and holding leaders accountable. And don't underestimate the power of collective action. There are growing grassroots movements across the country fighting back against these overreaching laws. Community groups are forming petitions, hosting town halls, and organizing protests. You don't need to be a tech expert to get involved. You just need to care about the future of your country. You can be part of the solution, attend local meetings, sign petitions, join campaigns, and raise your voice in whatever way you can. Australia, we cannot afford to stay silent any longer. If we don't stand up now, while there's still time, we may one day look back and wonder exactly when we lost our freedoms and how we allowed it to happen without saying a word.